Hey, hey. It's just a chitty chat. What would you like to talk about? Anybody into herbalism, prepping, any of that things, kind of stuff? Questions about how you can get yourself healthy naturally with herbs? Check out some of my videos. I've got some great videos on how to heal yourself naturally with herbs. And even if you don't have any major illnesses, you can continue to keep yourself healthy. We're going to be doing a live tomorrow on how to make a liver support. If you have any issues with liver, adrenal, gallbladder, what we're going to make tomorrow helps keep those organs functioning well and up to par. Are you guys familiar with milk thistle? It's the liver herb. Gets all that sludge out. Do you know if you've got an unhealthy liver, it can affect your getting acne, can affect your skin care? Yeah, can be linked to rosacea because you have all that sludge build up in your liver. Do you know how many jobs your liver does? What if you don't have a gallbladder? Then what do? How's your gut health? There's so many different things that herbs can do to help your body function better so that you don't have all those little hiccups, you know. Amazingly, herbs and mushrooms. Mushroom therapy is a great thing. Can help with anti-cancer. Can help fight off some of the tumors. There's proven testimonies of people actually using herbs to fight cancer. Turkey tail's a really good mushroom in reducing the size of tumors and anti-tumor support. Mistletoe. Do you know mistletoe is actually used in 8 different cancer drugs? And it's used for treatment in Europe, but here in the United States it's not used. There's actually a doctor, can't remember which hospital, I want to say it was the Cleveland Clinic, no, it's Johns Hopkins, and one of their patients had cancer. They only gave her 6 months to live, and she had, I thought you were Roseanne Barr. Do I look like Roseanne Barr? Well, thanks, I appreciate it. Roseanne's a spitfire. I like the fact she doesn't have a filter. Thanks. Good morning, DM Skippy. That's an 80s man. I used to say DM Skippy all the time in my younger years. That's pretty cool. 59. Is that your age or the year you were born, or is that just your favorite number? But yeah, mistletoe. You know, it's a great herb. It really is for cancer treatment. I have a family member. You're born. I'm 66. But I have a family member who has cancer. They were diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. They went through all sorts of treatment through radiation, chemotherapy, and you know, radiation, unless you're getting proton therapy, that radiation not only hits the spot of the cancer tumor or cells, but it can also hit surrounding area. So when you're looking at, let's say, children and adults, you know, you're doing damage to so many other areas, and he experienced that because his tumor was in the neck area and the lymph node area. That radiation actually affected his esophagus to where it shrunk, because that's what we want radiation to do, right? We want it to shrink the tumor. Well, it hit the esophagus too, which did not have any tumors or cancerous cells, but his esophagus got shrunk. And unfortunately, he can't really eat anything anymore. How do you make that? I mean, he's had it stretched, but they can only stretch it so far. Yes, DM Skippy, I'm telling you, turkey tail's a good thing. Turkey tail's a really good thing. I make him a tincture of turkey tail. I make my own medicine. I grow my own herbs, mushrooms, and I make him a tincture, and he has been 8 years now, and he's been in remission. He's doing really good. And, mistletoe's a good one. What else? We've got him on a nice regimen right now. He does teas, a decoction, and he's doing the tinctures, the reishi. We're getting ready to start him on some lion's mane. I have a really good video. I just harvested some of my lion's mane. And some maitake mushrooms also. But, yeah, a lot of good preventative stuff out there. And if you don't follow me, I've got a lot of videos. I just did an A through Z series on every herb in my apothecary. Since I started, I've added more, so I've, kind of added. I'm going to have to backtrack and add some of those in there. But, and this weekend, I'm going to do that liver tincture for liver support. But I can feel the difference. That inflammation, the joint pain goes away. Simple things like, maybe don't go to the bathroom 2 or 3 times a day, which we're all supposed to. That helps it because you clean out all that sludge. So just an FYI, some herbs you can look into for gallbladder, liver, kidney, and adrenal support are Oregon grape, milk thistle, burdock, stinging nettle. Let's see, burdock, stinging nettle, Oregon grape, dandelion. Dandelion. Any of y'all take a dandelion tincture or drink dandelion tea? Wonderful. Did you know it was a prebiotic? Dandelion's a prebiotic. So it's going to feed all that good gut bacteria in your gut. So you have probiotic, and then that so the beginning goes to the probiotic enzymes and bacteria, and it just feeds it, and it makes sure that that probiotic stays healthy in your gut, so that, if you're on antibiotics, just regular stuff, bad stuff you might eat, all the shit they put in our food anymore. Did you know that Mountain Dew, which I don't drink pop. I don't drink a lot of pop. Now, I do, drink the Propel waters and things like that. I like the flavored waters. But let's talk about Mountain Dew. Do you know Mountain Dew has something in it, and it might be called bromelain. Bromelain, something like that. Do you know that's outlawed in other countries? It's one ingredient away from being a plastic. And, I think we all know somebody who just drinks so much Mountain Dew. That can't be good. You ever wondered, DM Skippy, are you still in here? You're about my age. You remember growing up, we didn't have all the illnesses that we have now, like the ADHD. You didn't see children, teenagers being put on antidepressants and anxiety medicine. You didn't see the diabetes as prevalent as it is now. And what's the common denominator that all of us humans have across the globe? It's what we eat. They're putting things in there. I saw a video, and this was a while ago, so this has been out in the market for quite a while. Hi, I hear Sabin. That's an interesting name. I heard a while ago that they were making chicken through test tubes. So when it was done, it looked like chicken nuggets or chicken strips, and the FDA approved it. Good night, Vazzy, J. Vazzy. How are you? Good night. Sleep well. Sweet dreams. Say hi to the Sandman. But, it makes you kind of wonder, are they selling these things to restaurants? It's probably cheaper for the restaurants because they don't have to buy the chickens that they fill with steroids that grow 3 legs or, 3 wings or whatever they do, makes them go from the incubation hatch time to, 12 weeks later, they're full grown. You ever heard of a chicken being full grown, ready to be butchered in 3 weeks? Oh, 12 weeks? That's 3 months. That's not a long time to be full grown. But yeah, it just makes you wonder. All those diseases, that's the shit they're putting in our food, I'm telling you. You know, the summer and the spring months are coming up. I grow a lot. I don't have a big garden. I utilize my space. I only grow what we're going to eat. I do experiment on some things. Like this year, I'm growing baby corn. The little baby corn. I'm so excited. I'm thinking, do I have to have a little combine that's going to go there and pick up all these? I've never seen a baby corn plant. Is it a bush? Is it a corn stalk? Does anybody know? We're going to find out. I have the seeds. Fortunately, the packet of seeds didn't have a picture of the full-grown plant on it. But it makes you wonder because the majority of cities in the world have at least one Asian restaurant in it, right? They have baby corn and all these things, right? The majority. Where do all these baby corns come from? Can you just, you figure, it's only that big. Some of them are even smaller. So I'm really excited. I'm going to experiment with making baby corns. I'm going to take my followers on this little journey so they can see the baby corns. But I'm doing a lot more Asian vegetables this year. I'm a canner. I'm a prepper. I like to be prepared for, have plan A, B, and C. And so I do like to can. It's come in really handy with inflation this year. We do purchase a side of beef every year and a half. We get enough that we'd only have to purchase beef, and then we buy a whole hog maybe every, I want to say 18 months, maybe something like that. We get it from a local farmer who is organic. They're grass-fed, nothing sprayed on their property at all. And I can. And I'm not going to say that I don't use cane sugar and all that stuff. I have grandkids and they enjoy their little treats. But go to farmers markets. If you don't have the space, go to a farmer's market. You can water bath. You don't need to actually have a canner as long as what you're canning is high in acidity. So like your tomatoes and things like that. It puts it on your shelf and you can say, piss on these manufacturers who are putting things in your food, You can make your own pop, soda pop. Yeah, make your own root beer, your own ginger ale. There's all sorts of things you can make by yourself. There's all kinds of videos out here on TikTok and YouTube. Lot of, excuse me, educated people who have those skills and are sharing them with us. Our government does try to limit what we can do for ourselves. If we're dependent on Big Brother, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, guys. I'm 100%. Let's try to be self-sustainable, Try to do your own thing. Try to control what we put into our bodies. Herbs are a good option. And I'll be honest, I was on a lot of medication before. I was. And I am still on a few. I'm very open with my doctor with what I take. I make my own tinctures. And I have gone from being on 2 blood pressure medicines to just 1. And we have reduced, I just went last week to the doctor, we reduced my percentage and the milligrams, I should say, down. And one more time, if we continue with this journey that I'm on and it continues to work, I'm going to be off of it. And I'm really, really excited because have you ever seen a commercial for a pharmaceutical drug that didn't have any side effects? Honestly, I never have. There was one Ambien, I think it was. It was for insomnia or something that said one of those warning side effects said if you start gambling. Gambling? That's a side effect? Addiction is a side effect? Now that's kind of crazy to me. So that tells you what? It's messing with your brain? Yeah, it's very weird. Wow, my hair kind of crazy. But it makes you just think, what in the world are they putting in these things? And you think you take it every day. Everything that you put in your mouth has to be processed through your liver. So, it's just crazy. And that's why I do a liver support tincture to help get rid of all that junk that we're putting in our bodies through food. And nobody's perfect. Nobody is perfect. We all have our weaknesses. Convenience. You're running late. You pick the kids up from whatever sport. You don't want to go home. You don't want to cook. You've worked a full 8 hours. You're just tired. So you go through McDonald's. We all do it. I'm not going to condemn anybody of that. We're a society of convenience. Throw it in the microwave. Easiness. We love it. But it has its, it has the bad side of it too, because they're putting things in there. Manufacturers do. And it does affect the organs in our body. Irritable bowel syndrome, infections, yeast infections, things like that. It's hard on our bodies. So that's why I really promote herbs. That's really why I promote, trying to put, consuming things that what's in it, looking at your labels. I just think it's a better health, overall. And nothing's overnight, nothing happens overnight, and with anything in our life, it's consistency. We can tell from my fabulous physique here, that I've hurt my body, I've done things, I've eaten too much, I've eaten the wrong things. I was a single mom. My kids are in their late 30s now. I was a single mom for like 17 years when they were at home. Not a lot of child support coming in. And it was cheaper to eat unhealthy. And those convenience things like I was mentioning. Now, today's day and age, it's expensive anyways. But I'm not trying to make excuses. I take full accountability, And it's hard. It's hard to get back. Okay, hi Julie, how are you? So you're trying for your kidneys, your shakes, which include morning spring glad, cocoa, turmeric, and blend chlorella. You're putting all the good things into your body. Turmeric is the best inflammation fighter. Now, I do want to say this. This is very important when it comes to turmeric. And for those people who are on here and you don't know anything about me, let me tell you my experience and where I was educated. I got my certificate of herbalism through Cornell. I also studied under a veterinarian who treated his patients, animals, 90%, 80% of the time with herbs. Any animal that left had some type of herb with them. there are things that can't be treated with herbs, just like with human beings. You know, somebody gets hit by a car or things like that. You know, you have immediate emergency survival tactics that need to be taken, and an herb's not going to do that. And then he eventually became a naturopath doctor and started taking on patients in that route, human patients. So that's my experience. I also use herbs for my animals and myself, my family. I make my own medicine. I make my own tinctures. I show people how to do that on here. So, so Julie, I want to tell you about turmeric. Okay, turmeric's really good. One of the best inflammation fighters. Inflammation around the joints causes pain. That's why a lot of people are in pain, arthritis, things like that. Just achy joints can be a result of inflammation in the joints. But the thing with turmeric, you have to use black pepper. Okay, a lot of people will use white pepper, red pepper. You can use cayenne. But the actual black pepper, here's the thing about black pepper and using it. A lot of people will just use, you know, pre-ground black pepper, okay? Black pepper becomes active when it's crushed. So if you're using black peppercorns, it's kind of like, it's not allicin like as in garlic, okay? Garlic starts a process and it emits allicin right when it's crushed, and that's the goodness in the garlic. Black pepper, when you crush it, it oxidizes, and that's where all the good stuff comes out of the black peppercorns. Or you could use red peppercorns, white peppercorns. But when the pepper's crushed, that's when it becomes activated, and it only lasts for a short time. So all the black pepper that you're buying on the shelves is completely for flavor only. You're not getting any medicinal benefits from black pepper, and oddly enough, black pepper does have medicinal properties in it. So when you take turmeric, you want fresh ground pepper in with your turmeric. And what that does, it helps it absorb more into the cells. So if a lot of people take turmeric and they're like, it's not working, or they're taking turmeric pills and hey, these aren't working, you got to have some fresh ground pepper with it, or it's not going to absorb. And it can absorb by up to 2,000 times more into the body, so that it's helping with that inflammation. So you just get, hold up. This is my grinder. I love this. Got it on Amazon. But it has your salt at the bottom. You have your peppercorns, whole peppercorns. You just need to crush your peppercorns or grind them. And then add it to your turmeric. Let me go up here and look at some. What was orange? I'm not sure what you're talking about, orange. Animals. Animals can take herbs. Yes, ma'am. I've even got a few videos. I have a file already that I'm started to where I'm going to do a series on herbs and animals. And so, like, my dog has oh my goodness, right now he's dealing with some IBS, so I'm giving him some herbs for IBS. I do a decoction, which means I'll take the herb and I put it in a pot of water and I simmer it, not boil, simmer it on a low heat for about 30 minutes. So I'm pulling all those good properties and constituents, medicinal properties, out of those herbs. And then I let it cool down and I strain it. And then I keep it in the refrigerator. We administer it by like a dropper, syringe into his mouth. It only lasts a few days. So I'll keep it in the refrigerator 3 to 5 days, but then I freeze it. and I freeze it in ice cube trays. You can freeze your herbs. You can freeze teas. So basically it's an herbal tea, okay? Just a long simmered tea. And then I freeze it in ice cube trays, and I pop out an ice cube every 2 days, because an ice cube, you know, you're not giving a lot. Tiny ice cube's good enough for 2 to 3 days. And we just do that, and it's given to him daily. And right now he's taking Cushing's disease is what he has. I couldn't remember the name of it. Right now for Cushing's, he's taking burdock and milk thistle. And then in a few days, we're going to start him to deal with the IBS. And there's no known cure for Cushing's. We just have to maintain him. If you have colloidal silver, that would be another good thing to put in there. Definitely research the benefits of colloidal silver. It's good for so many things. You can take it internally, topically, humans, animals. It's good for pink eye. It's good for eye styes. Internally, topically, for wound cleaning, bacterial infections, yeast infections topically. It's just an overall good thing. I make my own colloidal silver. I have a video on how I do that. If you're not following me, definitely follow. I have some good videos out there. I try to do a lot of things myself. Make my own medicine for my family, for my animals. I try to save money. Being healthy is expensive. It is. And I rather not buy big pharma stuff and utilize the things that are on this earth and have been given to us to do it naturally, you know. Well, thank you, Dawn. We have to learn how to try to be self-sufficient, I feel, and to be able to take care of ourselves. You know, herbs have been used for years and years and years. Before Big Pharma came into play, Chinese medicine's been around for thousands and thousands of years, and they've got it down. There's a Chinese pharmacy about an hour away from me, and I don't get there very often, but it's very interesting, and they treat everyone that comes in there with herbs, and it's very interesting. And when I'm there, I always try to get a chance to talk to the pharmacist there, and they have a translator, and it's very interesting. And next time I go, I'm going to actually do a live if they'll allow me to do it. If not, I'll try to get some video while I'm in there, you know. This is her right now. And you can see I put cinnamon in here. So like that's a root right there. You can see all the herbs. We've got all kinds of goodies in there. Garlic. I mean, everything you can think of health-wise. It sits in here, and I keep it usually 6 weeks. It has onion in there. Hi, Victoria. How are you? Candy fatigue. Well, you know, I first would, you know, honestly, try cutting back on your the sugar and the carbs. That can really cause you to be tired. But herb-wise, you can look into and see, based upon your medical history. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. I can tell you what I would look into. I would look into guarana. It's an herb, and it's known to help with energy. Ginkgo biloba is also another one that's good for energy. Ginseng's good for, especially red Korean ginseng is good for energy. But look into those and see if they would work for you. Deborah, what does this do? It's good for immune, it's good for immune maintenance. If you get sick, you can double up on it. It has turmeric and ginger and garlic and onion and jalapenos. It has thyme and basil. It has thyme, basil, oregano. It has rosemary in it. It has mullein. It has licorice root in it. It has elderberry root in it. Not root, elderberries in it. It has lemons and limes and oranges and anything you want in there. Anything. Once you strain this, it has a year plus. I've already got some that I've strained, and I have one family member, the one that I had mentioned, he is in remission from cancer. He gets 2 bottles at a time from me. And then what I do after, let me put this back, after I strain it, I bottle it. So this was done in 2022. And I make it different each time, guys. Depends on what I have and what I can get a hold of. So this one had the apple cider vinegar. It had jalapenos, chili peppers, horseradish root, turmeric, garlic, onion, black peppercorns. I put that freshly cracked black peppercorns in there because of that turmeric for the absorption. And then I also add black pepper when I take it too, just to let you know. Lemon, oranges, cinnamon, honey, ginger root. And then I put the directions on how they should take it. 2 tablespoons with water if you have a cold and flu, and just for daily maintenance, 1 tablespoon with water. Has a long shelf life. I enjoy it. When I'm going to be in the office, I take it twice a day, and knock on wood, it's kept crap at bay. Making the fire cider, I first put in whatever contents, herbs, vegetables, things like that. I put that in first, and then I just fill up with apple cider vinegar. I try to make all my own apple cider vinegar out of apple scraps, or if I don't have apple scraps and I have a whole apple, because I'm not making anything out of apples, I just cut up an apple and throw it all in there. And then go through that process. I've got a video on that too. Yes, eating cabbage and kale, yummy. Yes, that's so good for gut health. Yes. My apple cider, yes, it's organic. Yeah, I buy all my apple. We have an orchard right down the street, so I'm very fortunate. I know some beekeepers. Very good friends of mine are beekeepers, so I'm able to get their raw, unfiltered honey, and I'm able to get the different batches. They do, their summer batch, their spring batch, their fall batch, and, you're getting all those different pollinators, all those different flowers that the bees have pollinated in the different batches. So like in the fall, you may get the pollination of the goldenrod, and things like that. Nope, I don't. No, we live on the outskirts of the city. I'm actually getting ready to do a video on how, if you have 80 feet of square space outside, how to get yourself a good herbal garden. And some good herbs that are easy to maintain in a small space. Because that's what I've done. Hi, Lady Moon. How are you? So yeah, my apple cider vinegar is organic. I just did my first apple cider vinegar with honey. Normally, to do apple cider vinegar, you want to use sugar, but It's still in the process right now. It looks like I have a SCOBY starting to form on it, so I'm really happy with that, because if I have a SCOBY, I can move on to making some kombucha, which I've never made. And I've never really liked the flavor of kombucha, but if I'm making it store-bought, so I'm hoping if I can make it myself, I can make it like I like it, you know what I mean? Yeah, go ahead. We've got the boyfriend in the way, sorry. Yeah, and that's the thing when you know, even are trying to get like dandelions out of your yard, or you want to grab some plantain. Plantain's a great herb to have. It's a drawing plant. If you have an abscess, if you have plantain, you can put a leaf in your mouth and chew it up, put it on that abscess, and it'll draw it. If you have a splinter, plantain's really good. You can, again, chew it up or grind it up however you want. I'm going to put it in my mouth and chew it up. And put it on the area of the splinter and the surrounding area, and it'll draw it out so you can reach that splinter and get it out. Speaking of working from home, holy crap, guys, it's not Saturday. I've got to hop on my work life, my real life. Woo! I've got a regular Friday meeting at 8:30, so I've got to say peace out, everyone. I'm glad I was able to have the morning with you guys. All right, guys. Peace out.